Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Addiction Solutions with Roselle. So glad that you could join me for another episode. I am so impressed with with you guys going to YouTube and subscribing to the channel. That is so nice. I hope that this information is helping you. And remember that you do not have to use drugs and alcohol to be addicted. There's other things that you can be addicted to. If you look at some of the videos in the early stages, when I first started recording them, it talks about all addictions. So if you got family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, church members, you can tell them, hey, if you've got a problem, just look at the video. It doesn't cost anything. It's free and it's anonymous. And it could be information on there that could really help you. And there's no guarantee. It's just information. And so I'm a recovering addict, and the things that I'm giving you, the tools that I'm giving you are the tools that I used to stay clean. And so what it did is it changed my life. It made me a better person. It made me to look at things differently than I did when I was getting high and totally out of my mind. So it's a possibility that it could help you. So we're going back to the 21-point manual. Today we're on chapter 10. And so I'm going to explain a little more about the manual. The manual goes along with my first book, 366 Days of Recovery, the guide for the recovering person, my first year in recovery. So I did another book, 365 Days of Recovery. You have to fail in order to succeed. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's really true. You do have to fail sometimes in order to reach your goals. Nevertheless, if you're interested in purchasing those books, contact me on my Facebook page or Messenger, and I'll give you the details on how you can order the book. And when you order the book through me, I'll autograph it and get it out to you right away. So we're on chapter 10 of the 21-point manual. And before I get into it, we're really into the holiday season. This is the time when a lot of people with depression, loneliness, they go back to getting high, or they indulge in their addiction more than they normally would out of loneliness or sadness or whatever it may be. I want you to understand that the holidays are just the holidays. They are here to be celebrated, but don't go off the deep end. Please just try and stay focused on what you're trying to do. So this chapter 10 really pertains to this. I'm going to read it, and so just bear with me. Chapter 10 is so important. It explains how pertinent it is to get honest with yourself. After going through the previous 9 chapters, is recovery what you really want? It is very important to ask this question because the first 9 chapters laid the groundwork. Now you have to start doing and living the recovery process. Make sure you are ready. Now, this might sound premature because nobody can be totally ready for the simple reason it's a day-at-a-time program. So by it being a day-at-a-time program, you got to make the decision daily, am I ready to change my life? Or is my life that out of order that I need to change it? Or do I have one more in me? Or if I do it, I will not die. So the honesty part of the program kicks in right about now, because many people now, they're feeling a little better. Well, when you get that 30 days, I'll say even 2 weeks, when you get 2 weeks of not using whatever your addiction was, 2 weeks is significant. People laugh. I remember back in the day, I gave an open talk for a ladies club or something of that nature, and I think at the time I had 18 months clean, and they laughed at me. 18 months, that's nothing? I was like, Do you know how hard it is to get 18 days? Nevertheless, I didn't explode on them like I maybe should have, because I was still fresh in recovery. And so what they said, I guess they was looking at somebody who had 180 years. But nevertheless, I had to explain some things to them, you know, and they asked me, how do I know if my husband is addicted? I said, well, if, you know, he's not taking care of his hygiene, you know, he was used to getting haircuts, he was used to shaving, things of this nature, paying the bills and all this, and all of a sudden this stops, then maybe you need to start asking some questions. So they kind of changed their tune a little bit. But anyway, back to the manual. The honesty has to be, it has to be reviewed daily, because your life gets better now, especially the drug and alcohol and the gambling, because those are the most expensive. You know, shopping's up there, but they got a way to cut that shopping off, you know, and gambling can push you to some limits too, you know, where you have to go into funds that you never thought you would go into. But the drug and alcohol, especially the harder drugs, there's no way to ignore them. You have to do them, you know, and I'm speaking of the king heroin. There's no way in the world you're going to lay around and say, I'm not doing you, you know, because you're going to have to do something, either get some help, some treatment, or cold turkey. And trust me, having done cold turkey, it is not a pleasant experience. So many years, I was dishonest with self. Dishonest. I went to treatment 17 times. It might have been more, but I know of 17. And each time I went in there, man, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm tired. Oh, my God. I was broke. You know, when do you want to get discharged? On my check day. Why? Oh, I just feel like making love. Yeah, making love with the drugs. So I had money, at least a little. And, you know, I was broke the next day. I remember one experience. I was back in treatment. They hadn't even changed the sheets on my bed. Not bragging, not making fun. I'm just telling you the dishonesty that I displayed with my life. I'm telling you all this stuff so that you don't have to be dishonest with yourself. Or do you honestly, on a daily basis, want to experience recovery? And if you do, you got to follow those first 9 steps, definitely. You got to do all of that. And then 10, you got to get honest. So anyway, we're going to end it right here. I want you to come back with me next week, and we're going to get into chapter 11. I want you to go to YouTube, type in Addiction Solutions with Roselle, and subscribe to the channel. Tell your family and friends. I love you guys. I hope to see you next week. Goodbye.